Hey everybody, I've got the flu, so I hope you'll pardon my hoarse voice. Today, Naomi Wolf is an aging old hag, leveraging her status as a cult figure within the feminist movement to purchase credibility within libertarian circles in the United States. But when her first book of lies, The Beauty Myth, came out, she was widely regarded to be just another pretty face peddling what we chose to call feminism for foxes. 1994, Bellevue, Washington. The more I listen to Naomi Wolf, the more I feel that she does not represent a change of heart. She is nothing more than a sugar-coated, giggly-voiced version of Andrea McSteinamiller, peddling the same old men bad, women good gab dolled up as feminism for foxes. On October 12, 1994, I attended her lecture at the University of Washington, where she was promoting the paperback versions of Fire with Fire and The Beauty Myth. Near the end of her discussion, after taking questions and comments from several women, she called on James Smethurst of Seattle Men, which was Men's Evolvement Network, that was Seattle's mythopoetic men's organization. Before taking James' question or comment, however, she said, quote, "I'm so glad to see so many men in the audience. But do you men feel invisible, like your concerns and issues are being ignored? I offer that experience to you as consciousness raising," close quote. With that remark, she turned most of the men in the audience against her. It was mean-spirited and ignorant. Note, Wolf was born and raised in San Francisco, which, in my later experience, is a very mean-spirited community. In 2007, I attended the American Indian Film Festival there, and during my 10-day stay, I was appalled by the pervasive snobbery and petty behavior. Walking through various neighborhoods from my motel room to the film festival, which was held in I always get the pronunciation of this confused, Embarcadero, is that what it's called? Embarcadero. And as I walked through the different communities within the city, I would see people all over who were name-calling, jeering, and laughing at one another, and just behaving like just little punks. It was terrible. So maybe in her native culture of San Francisco, what Wolf did was just fine. But in Seattle, it was viewed as childish, petty, and mean. Continuing. Now, please excuse me if I become a little presumptuous at this point, but I expect at least some feminists hearing this are thinking, "Ha, she was right. Now you know how women feel," close quote. But herein lies her ignorance and theirs, because I and the vast majority of men know how it felt long before puberty. Because to be a man means you have to work for recognition. The vast majority of men, as George Gilder observed in Men and Marriage, must struggle to be heard where most women can command attention with a whimper or a flash of thigh or cleavage. In the best patriarchal tradition, doors are held open for women where men must labor just to get a foot in. Difference is, most men don't complain while most feminists do. 2015, Olympia, Washington. In Who Stole Feminism, Christina Hoff Sommers exposed Naomi Wolf as a monumental liar who told lie upon lie in her book Beauty Myth. Despite this, Beauty Myth continues to be a big seller while Sommers' book has lapsed into obscurity. More recently, during a discussion in which Karen Strawn participated, Wolf resorted to name-calling to shut Karen down, calling her a rape apologist. Karen, of course, was the victim of a rape, and perhaps Karen was too taken aback to respond, or maybe she simply had too much class. I emailed Karen to suggest that before agreeing to participate in something like that again, she enlist some friends to help her drill on debating people like Wolf. Having an encyclopedic knowledge helps. Warren Farrell has known Wolf for many years, and I suspect the reason we never saw them on stage together is because he knows more about pretty much everything and could shut her down with a few gentle words. That's the thing about feminists. Ever since the late 1990s, they started refusing to go on stage with us because we started learning how to respond. on the show where I met Mel Feit, Executive Director of the National Center for Men in New York City. One of the feminists on stage with us physically threatened him. Most men would have said nothing or just brushed it off as a joke, but Mel was a seasoned veteran and he instantly pointed it out, making a big deal of it to ensure it did not go unnoticed. The men's rights movement didn't fail because we messed up, but because we succeeded. Starting in the late 1990s, feminists began refusing to appear with us in public forums because we were winning. With very few exceptions, all the facts and arguments against feminism that you have heard on YouTube were first voiced on television and radio interviews and debates in the mid to late 1990s. The proof of this lies in the 100 videos I've posted during the past 5 months. Most of them are taken straight from articles and essays I wrote more than 20 years ago. More proof can be found on Warren Farrell's YouTube channel, where he has posted many videos of televised interviews first broadcast in the late 1980s through the 1990s. Same for Christina Hoff Sommers. We had figured things out, same as you did later, and they silenced us to prevent you from learning what we knew. When they realized they could not win in a fair fight, they did what women do. They shut us out. They refused to debate or recognize us, and then they enlisted the mainstream media, most of which is one flavor or the other of progressive, and that forced us onto the web, which they are now working to take away too. You'll still be able to play your games, share funny pictures and videos on social networks, but if the neolibs and neocons have their way, content like this will no longer be allowed, or if it is, the only way we will be able to find out about it is through word of mouth. Don't believe me? Check out the recent Matt Drudge interview, as well as the recent announcement from StormCloudsGathering, both linked below. That's all for now. Check out the other videos, subscribe to the channel. For the Backlash at backlash.com, my name is Rod Van Mecklin.